What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Penguar here. Thought I would just expand onto the topic of raids today. Raids in Pokemon Go. Do you like them? Do you not? My personal opinion, they're really cool, but I think it takes away the devotion and the effort that went into the Mon, personally. They're awesome. It's an awesome thing to go, but I'm kind of curious what all of your opinions are on the topic of it. You know, whereas we used to have to grind Larvatars, we used to have to grind, you know, if somebody posted online and you saw a Larvitar spawned, we would probably drive across town. If we were out and about already, we would drive across town, go get the Larvitar. Or like if you're one of those lucky people that have an unknown already, you know what it's like to kind of, unless you were at the scene when it spawned, of course, you're one of those people that probably drove as fast as you could across town just to get it. That's how I got my two personally. But I'm just curious as to what you think as far as the grind is concerned. Is Niantic getting away from the grind that was completing the Pokedex? Whereas you used to grind all this candy for the Larvatars, you used to grind all this candy for, Rhydons if rock Pokemon are rare for you, Laprases if you couldn't get Laprases during any of the special events, things like that. Now all you have to do is wait for one to pop up and hopefully, get a group together, which isn't too hard to do if you live in more of an urban area. Sorry to rural players that aren't able to get that kind of benefit, but it is what it is. It sucks for some of you out there. I understand. I don't personally know how it goes, but I understand how it is. I work in Harrisburg, South Dakota. That's where I'm at right now, and I can tell you gameplay is not the best out here. My only Pokestop is right by my work, is that water tower. That is the only Pokestop within quite a while. But yeah, I'm just kind of curious, what is everyone's opinion of it? Personally, I like and I don't like it. I like that I can just go get Tyrantars whenever I want, but at the same time, it just kind of, you don't value the Mons like you used to. I really, my first Charizard I got, there was this spawn point at Lion Centennial Park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, would spawn a Charmander once every hour. It's like 7 minutes after the hour is what we had it timed out to. And that's how I got my first Charizard, and that was a lot of devotion to get that. That was before Pineapple Berries, that was before Golden Raspberries, that was all of that. And now, of course, you can just go do a Charizard raid, and this is even after the New Year's event where they spawned all of the starters. So I understand the grind that goes into it. I'm just kind of curious what people's thoughts are in terms of where the game is headed. You know, were you one of those players that liked going nest to nest, grinding for a dex? Like if you got a Charmander nest, you know, you're probably super excited about it. You wanted to go as soon as possible, get that grinded out, get your Charizard. Maybe if you're one of those IV chasers, grind the IVs, and you'd even just, maybe you didn't enjoy grinding it as much if you were an IV chaser, but you would still, every time you would see it still amazing. Like if you're a Valor player, get the amazing appraisal, if you're a Mystic, at the Wonder, you know, anything like that. If you just got that, you're super excited as to what the IV was. If you didn't have a 90 plus IV at the time, there was more shock value to catching things back then, whereas now you just kind of go Charizard raid to Charizard raid to Charizard raid, just grinding it until you either get that 100%, that perfect IV that everyone so wants, which isn't terrible, but I'm just saying, or you just catch Mons and hope for the best. But yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts on how the whole raid system goes. I really enjoyed walking everything for it at the time. I don't like that I don't walk as much as I used to compared to what life was like, well, what the game was like before raids. I definitely walk a lot less than I used to, just because why would you, let's say there's a Charmander nest or there's a Charizard, why wouldn't you just go get the Charizard? Like, yeah, if you find some free time to go do it, sure, but you're not going to prioritize walking that Charmander nest. You're just going to see if you get in your local Discord group, get in your local Facebook group, and see if you can get a few people together that can help you out with a Charizard, so you can just grind a Charizard raid. And plus you get the rare candies, you get the golden raspberries. It's just more worthwhile as a player to hit a raid compared to hitting a nest like it used to be. So I miss the old experience that you would get from it, but I don't necessarily hate raids. I do enjoy them, but I miss the physical aspect of the game, if that makes sense. And that could just be talking because they haven't had an event in a while. They've just, had the legendary raids that we've been doing since July now, since like late July I think it was. But yeah, that's just my little thoughts on it. What do you guys think about raids? Do you like raids? Do you like the new direction that the game is heading towards? I'm really curious, once Gen 3 does eventually launch, are they going to update the raids immediately? Are we going to see Metagross raids? Are we going to be seeing Salamence raids, things like that? Or are they going to wait a little bit to change things up? Because I did like how every single nest changed to Gen 2 once Johto did launch. That was kind of cool. But I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm just curious. I'd like to hear your feedback as to what you guys think about everything. But as always, thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned to another discussion video coming up, probably, like I said, Thursday, Friday-ish. I want to do a full video or something for an about me, as my experiences as a player, walking around different parks. I want to do that kind of video eventually, probably within the next week, week and a half, expect that. And then if iOS, like I said in my first video, if you watched my intro video, once iOS gets screen recording, I want to start doing vlogs. If you watch Mystic 7 or anything like that, or Mystic 7 Trainer Tips or any of them, you know their vlog videos. I want to start doing stuff like that, not necessarily on the daily, but maybe once or twice a week. I think would be really cool. But yeah, thank you for watching and stay tuned.